Neuromusical Thresholds. Sound healing is usually a passive, receptive way of using audio and music, so far as the client is concerned. Alternatively, the individual is actively doing work for personal healing when playing a gong, a monochord, or using her sound within an experiential, meditative way. The situation is comparable when you use sound healing. The tones directed towards another person affect the specialist as well. Dealing with audio and healing can often be complemented by enabling a customer or a group of participants dive into the experience of audio by making music themselves. Enjoying a person play, sing, or boogie is very exposing. Using the 5-element system can help you to recognize what is presented, and realizing thresholds is another way of understanding what happens when someone takes on. There seem to be obstacles in musical expression that are of your non-logical nature. The issue will not stem from a complex difficulty, but instead from an interior obstacle. Frequently, the individual is not even aware of the difficulty until you point it out. You can do this more easily when working with free improvisations, which have a tendency to be the best bridge between your player's interior fact and her manifestation. You can also detect such changes when participating in from recollection or from musical scores. Several non-logical musical roadblocks refer to internal structures, interior amount of resistance. If this holds true, then you don't have to attempt to thrust through them. Any inner amount of resistance or obstacle contains something that should be included or developed, something that should be recognized about oneself. Insufficient understanding would usually business lead to forcing, and any forcing would business lead to aggravation and destruction. I've come to comprehend 3 types of evolutionary thresholds reflected in music appearance: elementary thresholds or themes of work, permanent goals or recurrent thresholds, and the 7 major thresholds. The elementary thresholds would normally be utilized when working with small children: memorization, fine electric motor movements, right or left balance, beginning of boogie activities, breathing movement into a flute, for instance, sound, language, singing, trust, and fun in participating. Many of these can conceal interior roadblocks, sometimes inborn, sometimes psychological, sometimes neuronal, sometimes all 3 of them. When stumbling upon a fresh threshold, I am always impressed. This happened whenever I realized that some children in your day center had great difficulties blowing into any flute, plus some children will not dance or sing for a long period. The importance of crossing a neuromusical threshold will reveal itself through positive changes in the person's behavior. I found out the existence of these thresholds because I possibly could observe lack of the respected quality in a person's musical expression, a visible and long-term unconscious level of resistance to cross over that threshold, significant and prolonged changes in the behavior once the threshold is overcome. Concordant observations by my universities, by parents, instructors, and other specialists dealing with the person. The everlasting goals are thresholds as well, but seem to demand repeated crossings. They should never be definitively acquired. You will need to reconquer them every time you want expressing creatively, possibly every day, in each treatment. They are everlasting goals in manifestation in general, not just in musical manifestation. Practicing tranquility like individuals' growth never gets to its ultimate goal. This is a way to walk along. All is merely preparation for an additional step. While these long-term goals can be found from the first program, they never lose their guiding value. They may be the ability to harmonize and balance, the capability to move someone and also to be radiant, expressing joy, creating intensity, partaking in creative musical communication, surrendering to inspirational expression, silence, receptivity, spaciousness, and listening. In any balanced expression, all 5 elements have to be present at one instant or another. This is a natural process. If you explode with fire because you will need to or feel just like it, that can start something in you. From then on breakthrough, you might feel another element overtaking if you are not stuck in it for some psychological reason. Or you might pause a moment and feel what has been set in place. Understand that the thyroid chakra, the chakra of appearance, draws it has the energy from the 4 lower chakras that are linked to the 4 first elements: globe, water, hearth, and air. When one wants improvement in a person's musicality, we have to check whether one aspect is systematically avoided. What really happens whenever a performance moves us, whenever a person appears to radiate something contagious that touches a place profound within us, whenever a music expression begins to radiate and inspire other people, I would be prepared to find a balance between the elements. For every element adds a quality to help make the expression whole. I've told in a number of places in this course about the importance of expressing delight and intensity. Pleasure results in a lightness of center. One might call it a religious sizing. That is the one that goes beyond thoughts and daily words. Music is an excellent medium for distributing joy and to be humorous, too. Level is an enigma. It clearly manifests when the complete being is employed. One might say that the heart and soul is visibly approaching through. It really is a feeling. You seem to be propelled into the core of things. Time is suspended for some time. I know for the reason that moment I am on the right course and that you won't be a long time before results will show in one form or another. When there is certainly intensity, I am convinced that an interior intelligence is taking over. Creative musical communication occurs between several people present. It really is a meeting on a sense level. You can watch this occurring, of course, among jazz music artists, but it is also within improvisations when you create soundscapes along, whether with children or adults, impaired or not. In fact, with soundscapes or musical paintings, anyone can interact. Everyone is equivalent. Not much is known about the origins of musical impulses when they cannot be traced back again to things already discovered. We are able to make guesses. Once you can establish a balance between sense and expression, between your internal reality as well as your music, anything can occur, even surprises may occur. I have observed people express thoughts and atmospheres evidently coming from past lives, from distant cultures, distant with time or space. Other improvisations have obviously come from a place of inner intelligence, some bearing a vision for the future, some from the deep love for nature and the elements, and many more impossible to place into words. Each time an unbelievable intensity was present, a sense of real truth and intelligence. These moments help bring unexpected treasures, bringing in their wake insights and uplifting expresses of being. Whenever using individuals, I often use the 5 elements. It is suggested having them play for illustration an element, drinking water, a large river, a hoe, carefully relating this to the area with their psychoenergetic cosmetic that personally I think they have to focus on. I'd often incorporate this with the task on the thresholds. Employed in music with the 5 elements will introduce us to other phenomena that reveal the characteristics of your threshold. Once I ask you to definitely play the mountain, she'll have to get hold of an internal quality associated with an inner power, a men aspect, a sense of strong anchoring and a feeling of individuality. Once you've seen that the patient's or student's musical appearance is truly reflecting his or her thoughts and reality, you'll be able to observe how the qualities of mountain actually are portrayed in their participating in, singing or dance. If all these qualities aren't present or are just partially present in their expression, the sensation of pile will reveal this. More than likely this hill quality will be absent in virtually any other musical interpretation and undoubtedly in their everyday activities as well. There's a range of what I call major neuromusical thresholds that you have to keep in mind whenever using sound therapeutically. The list is not designed to be last. Below are a few examples. I've shown them in the sequence that they frequently happen. Being able to concentrate or having access to the knowledge of sound. Air. Excess dynamism. Fire. Excess rhythm. Water. Excess creativity. Water and space. Getting access to spontaneous use in our sound. Space. Becoming alert to the musical company of the instrument. Air.